Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, it's about time. It's about time I did this video. One of the champions which is totally free to get, and he is a beast of an epic. Archmage Hellmut. Available through doing Doom Tower, normal mode. So anyone can get involved in normal. I'd say once you've got yourself a half decent team, you should be able to at least beat the first couple of bosses. You know, I'm talking like level 45 on, you should be able to beat a couple of bosses and start to unlock the secret rooms. Now, you only get a few fragments per secret room of Archmage, so it can take you a long time to get him if you're just doing the first pieces. But once you start to be able to complete, you know, half of the normal Doom Tower plus, you'll get Archmage Hellmut pretty damn quick. Before we get into the guide, I'm just going to do like a quick 40-second clip about Incarnate, which dropped yesterday, and then we get back to Hellmut. Guys, Incarnate has finally gone live on the alpha for the hellhades.com members. I will pin below where you can get this link, where you can get involved and come and try the game. Teleport to highest space pulls enemies into my presence, so I could go in behind them. I should do damage to these guys, I think. Yeah, look at that. Slam them down. Nice. Or I could just slam this guy. What I should do here, slam him and take him down a level as well. So you see how you manipulate the board with abilities? Basically, the further I get them into the ground, the further I push myself up, the more damage we can do. Come on, let's get something big. Oh, what we got? Bane. Burn, Terror, and Root. All enemies in presence. A1. Burn, Terror, and Root. Nice. Legendary Piece. Destroy all allied zombies in your presence. And use their HP to attack all enemies within an area of +2. Blind those enemies for 1 turn. That's actually massive. That's a massive one to get early. 1%! I can't move anywhere. The only place I can move is basically in his lap. Oh, my Void Walker's taken an absolute beating as well. Don't die, don't die. One more here. Don't kill him. Oh, he's killed him. Oh no, 1%! 1%! So look, there you go. If you want to get involved in Incarnate, you can through hellhades.com. Premium members this week. Other members are all available next week, and all the links for that will be below. And it's actually a really fun game. So, Hellmut, let's do this. Let's do this. What is he all about? I think, again, like Raid do a good job of giving us valuable free champions. We're talking Hycatoon, we're talking Scylla the Drakes, we're talking what's his name? What's his name? Blood Twin. The red dude. Drexar Blood Twin. So we suddenly start to get hold of really cool legendaries and really cool epics as we continue to play the game and do the different game modes. And Hellmut is no exception. In fact, one of the better epics in the game. It's got really unique kits. And damn, if he's not going to cast some spells, what's going on? He looks sweet. Lightning all over the place. Straight out of World of Warcraft. Yeah, nice aesthetics. Got his book in case he gets bored of reading. And he does like a book. He does like the odd read. Not too crazy, not like some epics. But honestly, on my free-to-play, I feel like I'm just going to save up books for when I get him, because I think he's going to be massive for my free-to-play account. So what does he do? We've got an A1, attacks one enemy, so single target, gets some turn meter fill, gets 20% if you do crits. This means you might want to be pushing him to 100% crit to guarantee the 20%. But honestly, with his A3 buffs, you might decide not to. We'll get to that in a sec. A2, this is his bread and butter. Play him alongside Seal, and between them, they are stunning everybody up. Like, it gets pretty disgusting as a combo. Attacks one enemy, Also attacks all other enemies if the first attack is a crit. Comes back to that point, should you build him 100% crit when he does a crit buff? Kind of weird for me because I feel like you should build him 100% crit. Second hit has got a 50%, books up to 75%. I would book this. If you've got books to spare, I would book this skill. You also get more damage as you book up as well. Second hit has got a chance to stun, so 75%. So it won't stun the first person you target. So you probably, if you're going to run him in the arena, you don't want to target like the speed lead. You want to target the, I don't know, probably someone like the debuffer who probably the person that you don't really care about not stunning if they get a go. The second hit, 50% chance to stun, 75. After attacking, also decreases the turn meter of each enemy without a stun by 20%. This is a bit of a funky skill, but at least I guess if you're not stunning someone, you're pushing their turn meter back. All of this needs accuracy to land. We've then got the A3, places increased speed, increased crit rate, and increased crit damage buff on all allies. This is huge. 3-turn cooldown here, 3-turn cooldown here. All you're doing is you're spiking damage, you're reducing the stats you need in crit rate for your team, and you're going to pump speed as well. Honestly, if this had turn meter feel, he would be a monster of a go second in your team arena champion. Someone who's going to buff your team. But because he doesn't have turn meter boost, I feel like he lacks what he needs for the arena, which makes him kind of just not viable for the arena, I think. He becomes more like a dungeon support champion or a Doom Tower Waves support champion or a Faction War Waves support champion. He doesn't have a lot in his kit that deals with bosses. Like stuns won't work on bosses. You'll get the turn meter decrease, I guess, against the boss. But there's not that much that deals with bosses here. So it's more about waves of enemies, buffing your team, keeping them moving, and plenty of control against those waves. But for that, he's freaking solid. Absolutely solid. He's also got this passive, which is very cool, but kind of situational. So immune to turn meter decreasing effects. Again, there's not many bosses that push your turn meter back, if any. Maybe the Griffin does. I think the Griffin might. So against bosses, this isn't going to come into effect. And honestly, there's not that many waves of enemies that you face that push turn meter back. There's probably the odd Valk waves. There's probably the odd, maybe Lyssandra's in Doom Tower waves, that type of stuff. But there's not that much going on. So this looks like an arena passive, against those champions like Lyssandra's and anyone who's trying to push your turn meter back, Sylar's. But honestly, because this doesn't give you a turn meter feel, I don't feel like he's really an arena champ. But anyway, all that said, I've put him in Helm Smasher. I've put him in some damaging gear to start with just to see if he can whack. High attack, 100% crit rate, high crit damage in Savage with Helm Smasher. Let's get him somewhere where he's just going to whack some stuff and see if he's worth building for damage. People say, why do you do this test? It's irrelevant because we don't all have the same champs and the same gear. It's not really what it's meant for. The test is more meant as a comparison. So when I do this with everybody, it means that I can just kind of suss out, where does he sit compared to his peers in terms of damage. So I'm not saying we would ever run this team. I'm just like, you know what? If we were to run this team, what would he be doing for us? Or how does he compare to other people that I put into the same type of setup? His aura as well was speed in arena, by the way. So we're doing normal setup for this. I've got him on a neutral affinity. Just slow it up. We can speed up for a bit. Get our debuffs out. Get our buffs out. So basically what happens is increase attack from Arb. Oh, hold on a minute. I was still on auto. I didn't mean to be. Doesn't really matter, I think. Increase attack from Arb. More poisons out there, which pushes our damage. And he slaps for around 100k, whilst also throwing stuns out. It's nice damage. It's not mental, okay? If we look on my website, he's in the strong category, which means that he's in the top 50% of champions in the game, but not like top 15, which would be godlike. His A1 there hitting for 80 odd K on a single target, and he's getting turn meter fill for it. And obviously this is a showcase of like pretty much the highest damage he's going to do. So when we see 100 odd K, we've seen people blow 200k. That's the real high end. He's like a mid-tier damage dealer, which means that I wouldn't do him in this type of build. I would actually, I mean, to be fair, he does a good old slap. And if we're going to be running him on wave content, I probably would keep Helm Smasher on. But if you're going to try and get him into boss fights like this right now, you'd actually be doing better, I think, having him in high speed gear to rotate through his abilities quickly, and then in something like War Master to just get the guaranteed HP % hits. But you could definitely run him in either. I think on the website I've got him in War Master. You could do Helm Smasher or War Master very, very comfortably. 130k against the dragon. It's nice, actually. It's nice damage. So let's get onto a more sensible build. Okay then, so what have we done? I've just put him in full speed sets. I've gone crit rate on the gloves. I've gone HP % on the chest, speed on the boots, and then basically I've been looking to make sure that I cap his crits so that he gets his full benefit from doing crits. I've got his HP up. I've got his accuracy high so he can help me with Doom Tower, and I've kept his masteries exactly the same. So mastery tree, which is focused on accuracy, gaining stats, and then damage through Helm Smasher. Okay, so we're going to try him out. This is kind of where I'm interested just to see how disgusting some of these combos can be. So something like, I'm just thinking something like Seal for the stunnage, him for the stunnage combined, and then someone just flowing speed through the team. So something like this. I mean, he does have a speed buff already, so maybe we don't even need this. Maybe just like a turn meter filler. But yeah, I just feel like this type of combo is just going to be disgusting. Like straight up, it's just going to deal with them. And then you might just have literally like filler champions coming in. Let's try this. Because I can't see how the enemy really get a turn. The other thing you could do, actually, in Marshes, you could run in with Fearsome Presence and give another 5% chance to stun. But between him and Seal, I think they just rotate into their stuns really quick. And, I mean, you could even run him in stun gear and just make it even more disgusting, like chance to stun. But you see how quickly we're just going to get back round to our stun abilities. Should have the next stun up now, I think. There it is. Triple stun. Stun from Seal as well. And honestly, if you're running quick enough, which pretty much means more than 230 odd speed, I can't see these waves really getting a chance. We don't even have drop defense in this team right now. And these guys are not even getting a turn. In fact, I'm going to add drop defense in just so that we get a bit more speed into the team. So we're just popping Stagnite in, not Stagnite, Tayrail in, just so that we blow up these waves much quicker. But you see here, even in this kind of non-damaging gear, we're still, and just with one drop defense, we were still hitting there for, you know, like 30 odd K across the board. It's good damage. He's a good damage dealer, but he's more of a support unit than a damage dealer. And, I mean, these guys they've just got no chance. Literally, they're just like, what do you want us to do against this? How can we cope? And you can't. You can't cope with it at all. So, you know, you get yourself to this type of wave. What you really want to do is control this wave. So between these guys, Seal's like, try and shriek when you're stunned. And they obviously can't. And then he's like, well, I tell you what, I'm just going to throw some more out there. They've just got no chance at all. So this is how I see him being played for most players. And honestly, it's a straight up lockout. These two together, it's like, no, you're not doing anything, guys. You haven't got a chance. And then obviously he throws the buffs out to give everyone else a bit more damage in their kind of setup. So yeah, super cool combo. And this same combo can kind of be run basically anywhere. You know, you can pretty much just rely on these two together to lock out any waves. And then everyone else that's coming is just keeping you moving quick. And I guess bringing your extra bit of damage. Or you just kind of run it slow and steady and, you know, rely on nobody getting a turn. But obviously, we don't do a lot against bosses. So the bosses can't be stunned. That's what I was saying during the video earlier on. But that's why we build him as a bit of a unit so that he can take a hit. And we should find... I'm interested to see, actually, if he does push turn meter back on the boss. Yeah, he does. Yeah, so he does a 20% turn meter drop on the boss because obviously we're not stunning the boss. So we do get a bit of utility out of him for bosses as well. But yeah, nothing more really to see here. So Dragon, Ice Golem, yes. Anyone really, any boss fight will be absolutely fine. And any of this kind of left-hand side here. The place where I think he's going to bring a ton of value for you, though, is Doom Tower. So when we... in fact, I can't show you the really high levels, which is a shame. So I'm going to get us up to as high as I can for now and just kind of show you that combo. It's actually worth just showing, whilst I'm getting towards those later levels, what else Hellmut is awesome for. So if you happen to be one of the fortunate that have got Seer, he becomes your buffer for Seer. So you can set yourself up with a team setup like this. So I've got my Kaimar to always uses A1 first. Yeah, then we buff, we decrease defense, we rip off, and then Kaimar wave 2 resets. Buff, decrease defense, rip off, and reset again. So the reason why it's so good with Hellmut is because he buffs crit rate, which means that Seer automatically decides to go ahead and use her Karma Burn. But if you then do it as your own setup, obviously you can make it do that anyway nowadays. But the triple buff plus the fact that he's buffing crit rate just makes him one of the best Seer partners in the game. He's up there now with, in terms of number of buffs to rip off and quality of the buffs, he's up there alongside people like Morsian Mage, Kreela, Lydia, like all of the big ones. And when you get further into Doom Tower, you do need tons of buffs. Like, you need a higher level of buffs to be able to do it. And obviously you slam your way through the waves, super simple. So if you've got Hellmut plus a decreased defense plus a Seer, then Doom Tower just became a hell of a lot easier for you on hard levels. Anyway, I'm going to get us up a couple more floors. I might as well just do it, actually. Let's just do it from this floor. So, yeah, let's take this off. And I'll show you now what he can do alongside stun locks. So, Seal, I mean, we've seen it already, but it's basically the same old thing. Seal in there. We can bring Stag in for our drop defense champion just so that we've got something else going on. And you might even run, I don't know, maybe I bring War Maiden actually in. War Maiden as my drop defense, whoever she is. Someone like Diabolist, someone like Soulbond, Bowyer. Basically, you put these AoEers into stun gear. Honestly, it's just gross. So we get our buffs up. We start to stun with Seal. We're increasing our turn meter with Diabolist. We're stunning with Hellmut. We've got stun set on everybody else. And it's literally like, fellas, when do you think you're going to get a try? When do you think you're going to hit me? Because obviously when you get higher in the Doom Tower, taking hits is nasty. It's nasty. You know, you get one shot. So even there, look, bam, we're getting absolutely tanked. So you do need to be able to stun up as many as you can. There's probably a good chance half of my people are not even fully built here, and we're still getting the job done. And this is where Hellmut is absolutely brilliant, because you do have to, if you don't have that Seer champion in your lineup, you have got to lock out as many enemies as you can. I literally cannot believe with 75% chance to stun, we stunned one person there. That is pretty damn bad luck. Come on, boys. Get it together. 1 stun. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're back in. We're back in the fight. So, yeah, it looked a little bit ropey for a second there. But you can see it's just kind of disgusting. So, Hellmut comes in as one of the best control champions as an epic in the game. There's only, I think, Husk can do an AoE stun at 50%. There's very few others. Very few. And even legendary level, 75%, apart from maybe like a handful, 2 or 3, 75% tends to be the cap. So the fact that he's doing 75% booked as an epic, he's up there with legendary champions in that type of skill. And you can see here, slow and steady, 1 stun. Don't let me down, guys. Don't let me down. 4 stuns. Now we've got one person who's actually going to deal with us. And at that point, what chance have they got? So super awesome. Champion, very cool in a number of different areas of the game. I think the biggest shame is he's not really that viable for like a ton of boss fights. Or not. It's not that he's not viable. It just his kit doesn't really do a huge amount for the boss fights for you. So you kind of need to make use of him in a lot of wave content. We're going to end up with these two anyway. The two absolute beasts. They're not going to get killed. And she's probably going to bring a couple back. I have seen Deadwood Jedi doing his shenanigans on Clan Boss. He's actually got some guides about how to run Hellmut on a 2-for-1 Clan Boss setup. So basically you bring Hellmut in with an extender and you get a never-ending increased speed buff going, along with crit rate and crit damage, which means you can get a lot of damage out. So for anyone who's wanting to run that, go and check out Deadwood Jedi's YouTube channel, and he's got that going on already. But yeah, Hellmut, absolutely fantastic epic. I've been Hell Hades. I will catch you later.